Okay, we're about ready to start with Duke.
Before you start, set a 3-game tournament record for freshman scoring, surpassing Phil Ford, and all ACC and the Duke record.
Yeah, do they know that? I don't have to say.
I just think
Yeah, I apologize. It's the longest net cutting in the history of the ACC tournament, so I apologize. But it was a happy one. The very first thing, we'd like to thank the city of Charlotte. They put on a great tournament. I mean, it was, we won, so no matter where it would be pretty good. But Charlotte did a great job, and this arena did a great job. It's an honor for us to win. This is the best conference, especially this year, and I'm proud of my guys. They beat 3 outstanding opponents, and tonight was a physical, really hard-fought defensive game, and our guys played good defense again. So proud of them, and you can ask them questions. Okay.
Please raise your hand. Let's get the mic to you. First question, second row, right here.
Zion, this feeling that you're feeling right now to win an ACC tournament, is this one of the reasons that you felt it was important to come back and win this with your teammates?
Yes, sir. Those 6 games I sat out, when you see your brothers going to war, battling, and there's nothing you can do but sit on the sideline and, cheer. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm not that type of person. I want to be out there with them. And, I made a commitment to them, and I'd be a bad person if I went back on my commitment.
Right in front of us.
Brent Friedlander, North State Journal. Trey, your brother had a knack for playing his best in big games, and tonight you kind of followed in the family tradition. Was there just a little bit more juice tonight, especially when you were attacking the basket?
I feel like it's just the will to win. All of us came here with one goal in mind, and that's to win. So especially in a game like today, it's a championship game. My brothers had my back. Even at the start of the game, I was struggling a little bit. They kept believing in me. Coaches kept believing in me and kept telling me, just keep going, keep taking my shot. And so with them believing in me and trusting in me, those players were able to be there, and I was able to make them.
Left aisle.
Dick Cox with Cox Sports Broadcasting. Trey, again, your game, it looked like a different person in the tournament where you were more aggressive, looking for your shot and all. What did you see in that? What's your thoughts on that?
Right. With Zion being back, even when he was out, teams were really doubling down on RJ when he was attacking things. So with Zion being back, they leave me even more now. And so I have to be able to step up and be able to make plays, even more scoring plays now, so it can open up for them to play their games as well.
Second row.
Jim Sumner, Go Duke, the magazine. Question for RJ. Coach Hamilton said earlier that at the point in the second half where Duke got the separation that his team couldn't match Duke's energy and determination. You hardly substituted at all the second half. They're bringing in wave after wave of fresh players. How can your team be the team with more energy and more aggressiveness at that point in the game?
We really emphasized at halftime to come out the second half and really, punch them first. So once we got that, we were able to kind of, sustain it, throughout the rest of the half.
Back right.
Coach, when you look at that Florida State team, obviously they played you guys tough in January, but how good is that team, and what do you expect them to do in March?
Well, I expect them to be a very high seed. I'd be shocked if they weren't a 3 or 4 seed. And Leonard and I are really good friends. He has a program there. He doesn't have a team, and it's built on great kids, a lot of kids, and playing good defense, and a lot of tall kids. But they accept their roles and they play so hard. And because they can really play defense, they'll have a shot at anybody. We had a very difficult time winning tonight. I think they're really good. I think they're better. We're better than when we played them. and they're better. But yeah, there's so many guys. There are a number of guys who are deserving of Coach of the Year, and I'm not knocking Tony because his team's so good. But you know what Leonard did was being 1-4, and what are they 27-7? You got to be kidding me. You know, I mean, to keep his team together and go through the ACC, finish 4th. Outstanding job.
Second row to our right.
Yeah, our Kip Coons for Press Box View. Trey, the early second half, you guys went on that big run, mostly fast break. I think it was 10 points in the fast break in that big run that kind of tilted the game. What was happening there that you were so successful to get out and run?
Right, we were able to get stops. Like we said before, we emphasized it at halftime to come out and deliver the first blow in the second half. And so, I mean, both teams were a little fatigued from the past few games, but we knew that if we were able to get stops and get on transition, we'll be able to wear them out.
Far left.
Zion, Bob Halliday, WRL.com. You broke 2 very old scoring records tonight. The record held by Art Heyman of 80 points in the tournament, you scored 81, had stood for 58 years. The freshman scoring record of 78 points set by Phil Ford had stood for 44 years. That's 102 years of records. Considering that you were on the bench,
You feel bad.
mending for a couple of weeks, what's this tournament been like for you?
I mean, this tournament's been great. I mean, we're ACC champions. I mean, I think if we didn't win it, then the tournament wouldn't have been great. So us winning this makes it great.
Right in front of us.
Yeah, hi, Mike. There have been games certainly this year where you guys have made 3-pointers, but the season numbers, you know, they are what they are. How do you think that has shaped who you guys are as a tournament team, you know, going into next week where you play a game like tonight?
Yeah,
and go
well,
make
we
shots?
believe in our 3-point. We believe that we're a good offensive team. Actually, tonight, I'm not sure how many games we've had where all 4 of the freshmen were in double figures, and you know, not many turnovers, and it was very balanced. Usually, like when Zion was out, RJ had to put up a lot, and he's put up a lot the whole year. And then the 2 of them put up a lot together. And then tonight, though, Cam hit a big 3, and earlier in the year, Trey was just happy running the team, and did a great job. He's still happy running the team, but he can score, and we need that, and he knows that better now, and so we're just more balanced, and we have a lot of They have a lot of confidence in one another.
Again, middle of the room.
Joe Bombo, SB Nation Radio. This is for Coach K. Could you just elaborate on how does it feel to have Jay Bills present this award to you guys tonight and see this is basically the future of Duke right here?
Well, it's not the future, it's the now. Unless you guys, did you tell him something? Oh, that's a nice surprise. You guys got together beforehand, huh?
All right.
I'm going to start crying.
Relax.
Tears of joy. Tears of joy. You know, having Jay present it, they were the first team for me that won in '86, and we've tried to continue to recruit that level of young man. And these guys are not just terrific players, but they're really good guys and good students most of the time. And they're balanced. And you know what? They have great families. And so they've been so easy to coach. And just like Jay and Johnny, Tommy Amaker, Mark Allery, those kids. So you know, that's why I've been here so long, 39 years, because it's you get good kids, and it's a great school, and good things have happened.
Back aisle.
Coach, for you again. Yeah, even over the past few years, as the teams have gotten younger, there's usually been a Quinn and Emil, Grayson. There are obviously veterans on your team, but I'm pretty sure there isn't a senior who's been playing lots of minutes. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm just wondering if that first presents an extra challenge for you, and second, talking about that team from '86 to then to now. I mean, how did you get from point A to point B?
I've written a couple books on that, so this is going to be a long. But no, all kidding aside, you have to adapt to how long you have the kids, and we get to, we recruit them early. We get to know them very well. I really think the level of relationships that we have with this group exceeds most of the teams that have been young for us. Not that they were bad, but these guys give you an opportunity to do that. They're very secure in who they are, and they only care about winning. They have fairly decent senses of humor.
That's me.
Most of the time. And so they're fun to be around, and they're really smart, and they get it. I would say they're beyond their years as far as being savvy, and they get it. And wherever they play in the future, the people will be lucky to have them.
We'll take 2 more for the players and let them get back to the locker room.
Josh Graham, Sports Hub Triad. This one for Zion. You've said it several times that it's a dream of yours to play at a place like Duke. When you're cutting down nets and holding up a trophy at the end of a tournament, how does expectation meet reality for you?
It's even better in reality because, when you're a little kid watching Duke on TV, cut down nets, championship nets, and you say you want to be a part of it, you say it as a little kid, but when you actually grow up and get to be a part of it, I mean, that's why we come to Duke. Win championships and try to get banners.
Well, actually, my question for Coach.
Okay, then we'll take one right here.
This is for either RJ or Zion, whoever want to answer it. What does it mean when Trey scores the way he did tonight? What does it mean to the team? And given his performance, are you surprised he didn't make first team all tournament?
RJ?
When Trey's doing that, they're really playing off him. So when he's able to score like that, it definitely opens up the floor for everyone else. And he has that ability. So for him to showcase it on a big stage was huge.
Okay, thanks, guys. Congratulations. Okay, for Coach.
Hill Overton, WIXC Radio. Coach K, you guys gave a great account of yourselves here during the tournament. Do you feel like with the return of Zion to the lineup that you're playing at or near your full potential going into postseason play?
It's tough to determine what our potential is. And, I try not to do that. I just want to have us play as good as we possibly can play right now. Half the conference season we played without our full complement of players. So to play these 3 games was so important because we remembered many of the things that when we played together before, but we learned some new things. And if we can get Marquise back, I hope sometime, during this tournament, I hope we're in this tournament for a long time, that will make us even better. But they played and competed better and harder than I thought they would be capable of doing right now, based on not having, and we only practiced a couple times this week and with Zion. And they pick it up.
The Duke locker room's open until 11:53. Next question on the aisle.
Mike, you played a national schedule this year.
Where are we at here?
Over here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And pretty much the league did too. The top teams. Have you ever seen a league or the ACC have a year like it did? And how do you think it's going to do nationally?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if we don't have 3 number 1 seeds. First of all, we played each other. I know we played those 2 guys 5 times, and they played 4 times. So, like Caroline and us, we played 7 games against number 1 potential seeds, and they played 6. And over the long run, both our programs have played tough. But this year, to do that, and for all these teams, these three teams especially, to do so well, it's remarkable. And I hope that we're all rewarded. I shouldn't say rewarded. I hope we get the due that we should get for that level of achievement, and because the league has achieved a lot. This team that we played should be a very, very high seed. Tough team to play against, man. And then Virginia Tech, the job Buzz did with his team. When Jimmy gets Tyus back, we're gonna have some really good teams. I hope they don't put us all in one or two regions. So we spread it out a little bit.
Toward the left.
To follow up on Ed's question, Kentucky's losing today certainly opens the door for 3 number 1 seeds in the ACC. You've watched this game many years. I think it's only been done once. What would it mean to the prestige of the ACC to have 3 number 1s? And let me sneak in an NC State question. Should NC State?
Yeah, I'd rather not say who would do that. Gotcha. That's what you get for being sneaky. You're not usually sneaky, Bob. And I think for the year, the race that was run, our 3 programs have been right there. We weren't in the background moving up or whatever. We were right there, all 3 programs, and we're finishing that way. I think these 3 programs deserve that, and that's not a knock on anybody, and they should talk about the Big Ten and SEC and all that, because they're really good, but this has been unusual. It's unusual for this level, and I mentioned this, I don't know, in the last week. We had, I think, 4 25-game winning programs, and Virginia Tech was just below. And in the conference, 16-2, 16-2, 14-4, 13-5, and it made it look like the league may not have been as good, but that's wrong. It just made it harder for these teams to bring up NC State. You're playing against those teams. It's different. It's different. It's a lot easier. And if you have to play, like for us, if we're playing, at Virginia, at Louisville, play State and Carolina, not many teams do that. And you can talk about other conferences, but it's grueling. It's grueling in our conference, and I think it makes us all better, but we should get rewarded for that.
Take 2 more questions. Second row.
Mike, you mentioned the 4 freshman starters all scored in double figures. I want to ask you about the one starter who isn't a freshman and didn't score in double figures. It looked like Javin gave Dick a huge lift inside.
Yeah, I thought Javin had his best game tonight, especially against their big guys. He rebounded well. He was talking on defense. He came up with some. He finished. He's played well, but tonight I thought was one of his best games, if not his best game.
Last question.
Yeah, Mike, on the topic of 1 seeds, given what happened last year with UMBC, do you expect 16 seeds to come into the tournament maybe with a little more confidence that they could be the one?
Yeah, I think teams come into the tournament, first of all, very happy that they're in the tournament. And then once you decide, are you only going to be happy or are you going to try to do something in the tournament, will determine how far you go in it. And that's at each juncture. Are you happy to make it? Are you happy to, go to the Sweet 16? Are you happy? Really, you should, if you want to be a championship program, you should only be happy if you win it all. And that's so damn hard to do. But I don't think you're going to get there if you're happy along the way. You got to be, you've got to be proud of each win, but you got to maintain a level of hunger for the ultimate prize. And our conference has done a good job of that. We've had, especially us in Carolina, national championship programs, and that's what I've learned along the way, is not to be satisfied, not to rationalize that it's okay, and because in these tough moments, rationalization can be the biggest opponent that you have at times. All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thanks a lot.